Hi, everyone. Welcome to the NAHQ Next 2025 info session. We're pleased you are joining us today. My name is Allison Hiller. I'm the Products and Program Specialist at NAHQ. I primarily work on NAHQ Next, and I'm excited to be here today. We'll save a few minutes at the end for Q&A from the audience, so please submit your questions at any time during the presentation for us via the chat box. Before we kick it off, I'd like to introduce our speakers. Liz Carlton is the Senior Vice President of Quality, Safety, and Operational Integration at the University of Kansas Health System. Liz is also the chair of the NAHQ Conference Content Team, so she's closely involved in all content for NAHQ Next. Liz has been instrumental in creating this event and working with other SMEs to deliver a best-in-class conference. So we are very thankful to her for dedicating her time and expertise. Jackie Wigline is the Director of Events here at NAHQ. This is one of our favorite events to collaborate on with our SMEs. The purpose of today's info session is to take a deeper dive on NAHQ Next and discuss why it's the event you don't want to miss and how to make the most of your experience attending it. Before we dig into the content, I'd like to take a poll. Have you attended NAHQ Next before? Please enter yes or no into the chat on the right-hand side of your screen. So we have some first timers, some people returning. My next question is for Jackie. There are several events for our constituents to choose from. So why should they participate in NAHQ Next? What makes NAHQ Next stand out from other events?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Allison, and I'm happy to be joining today and sharing information on NAHQ Next. So NAHQ Next is really the premier event for healthcare quality professionals, and it is preparing you for what's next in healthcare quality and safety. So NAHQ staff has taken a look at lots of attendee feedback, and we've taken a look at all of NAHQ's research results to truly ensure that we are addressing the most urgent and hard-hitting critical topics in the healthcare industry today. So it's a very highly curated agenda. We've worked with a group of subject matter experts like Liz and her content planning team, like Allison mentioned earlier, and we work with them to design every single session. So we have a call with at least every single speaker to ensure that they understand the audience demographics and they are speaking on topics that are most relevant to them. Additionally, we align all of the sessions to NAHQ's Healthcare Quality Competency Framework, a visual I'm sure you've seen before. It's a colorful wheel visual. And we ensure that it's relatively balanced between all of the 8 domains of the NAHQ Competency Framework. We also make sure that we focus on concrete action items and takeaways. We also talk with our speakers to not gloss over the challenges and the barriers that have stood in their way. So sessions will address the barriers, they'll talk about how they've overcome them, some of the lessons learned. And then this year we're also focusing a lot on the financial return on investing in quality and safety. NAHQ Next is also designed to take attendees really on a journey. And so each day it has a theme where sessions build off of each other. So we kick off day 1 with acknowledging how quickly the healthcare landscape is shifting and how it's really put quality in the spotlight. So it tees up the entire event and demonstrates how and why to lead with quality as a business strategy and why the industry is positioned to lead with quality now more than ever. And then day 2 is really a deeper dive on some of the hot topics discussed in day 1. And so day 2 really focuses on real life examples and case studies highlighting some of the hot topics. So it takes deep dives on those challenges and how to invest in quality to overcome the challenges and how to communicate to leaders the ROI on quality. And then we round out the event with day 3, which is really all about arming the attendees, all of you, to make changes in your own organization and your own career path. So it's pulling together really everything from day 1 and day 2, whether it be tools in your toolkit or some of the softer skills to elevate yourself. And so the sessions on day 3 are really designed to restore some of the passion and motivate you so that you are energized to leave NAHQ Next the last 2.5 days with the takeaways to implement them and not feel overwhelmed. So that's really how we design the event. With that, Alison, I'll pass it back over to you.
Liz, you have been on the planning teams for the past several years, and I know you've attended many NAHQ Nexts. What about this year's program excites you the most?
I'm just excited in general. Thanks for letting me be here and to be a part of this team. I've been doing it. I was trying to figure out how many years I've been on this team. It's getting close to the double digit. We won't say how many, but it's definitely up there. But I'm really excited about this year's conference on both a personal level and a professional level. You know, the work we do in quality and safety is hard. Let's just call it out. It is hard, and it can be just defeating. It can just break your heart sometimes. And so when you have the opportunity to be involved in an event like this, it really does kind of validate the work that you're doing. It restores your passion. It gives you, you know, maybe that validation that the work that you're doing is great. So it kind of refills your bucket. And we all, as quality and safety professionals, have to do a better job of that on the regular basis. I really love the concept of stealing shamelessly from others, right? So we get to hear from the best of the best that are out there, folks that have put things in place and have had great successes. And as Jackie mentioned, you know, the barriers that they faced. And so we get firsthand knowledge of how maybe we could do it a little bit differently in our place. And I think that's really, really strong and can make a really big difference for not just the outcomes for our patients, but as we work as quality and safety professionals to create an environment for our teams that make it hard for them to do the wrong thing, right? We want to make it easy for them to do the right thing. Learning that and be able to take that information and actual tangible outcomes and apply that in your own space is a gift. And I'm super, super excited about that. I also love that this conference is really for everyone. I've been in this business for almost 40 years. I started when I was about 12. And I think what is great about this conference, though, it doesn't matter if you're a novice or a very seasoned professional. You know, if you've been in it for a couple of years, there is something for everyone. And I think that is really the best. Sometimes you go to a conference and it's either too basic or too advanced, and you really struggle to have some takeaways. I think with NAHQ Next, you're going to get something. Everyone is going to get something out of it. And I think also what's critically important to me is that, and as we were designing these sessions, what I really stressed over and over again is we wanted to see and hear the outcomes, and then we wanted to know, what tools did you use? What processes did you put in place? Like, we wanted actual tangible tools that we could take and implement and replicate. So I could keep going. I know we have limited time here, but I think excited is an understatement. I'm really looking forward to what's coming next.
Thanks, Liz. I'm going to turn it back over to Jackie. Can you discuss with us the different types of sessions at NAHQ Next and how the agenda is organized?
Yes. So NAHQ Next has 4 different types of sessions, which are listed on this slide. And there's virtual live sessions, which are scheduled at a specific date and time to encourage everyone to come together and to participate and to really create that sense of community. And then there's, for those scheduled virtual live sessions, there is a live chat. And if you've participated in NAHQ Next before, you know that live chat is very lively, very active, very fun. And it's also, there's the option to have live Q&A for the presenters. So every single virtual live session has Q&A this year. And so it's an opportunity to ask questions of the presenters and give them an opportunity to answer. And then in addition to the virtual live sessions, there are a plethora of on-demand sessions in the library that you can listen to at any time. So there's 60-minute on-demand sessions that take a deeper dive. And then we also have 15-minute HQ best practice tools. And those are more bite-sized learning that focus really on a problem, how you solve the problem, the challenges, the barriers, and then the results and how you sustain them. So it takes a deep dive into those. And then additionally, we also have posters at NAHQ Next. And in addition to the static poster board, which is a PDF on the platform, every single presenter for a poster also submitted up to a 10-minute video that summarizes or that describes, kind of brings their poster to life. So it's another tool to look at with the posters. And the good news about all of these sessions, because we do recognize that everybody's busy and can't always listen in at the exact date and time that the virtual live sessions are, all of them are available until the end of year. So until December 31st, 2025, you can go back and listen to the sessions as many times as you'd like until then. So it's a great tool to keep referencing back as well.
Great, thanks. Liz, as chair of the conference planning team, you are deeply involved in the content and speaker selection for this event. Talk to me about how NAHQ selects the sessions and speakers for this event.
Sure. I want to give the credit to Jackie and Allison, first of all, because they got this amazing team of volunteers organized. And we needed organization because, you know, we're a bunch of big, busy people out there doing our day-to-day work. So just the fact that y'all did such a great job getting us organized made it so much easier. So y'all created this platform that had a scoring grid so that everyone had the same approach to how they were looking at the abstracts, how they were evaluating the abstracts. We met in advance and talked through what the kind of standard approach is and what the expectations were, what we were looking for, questions that we might have that might need to be addressed. So the platform was really user-friendly. So I have great appreciation for that, especially since as the chair and co-chair, Gail and I had to review all of them. Our volunteers each reviewed about 25 abstracts each. And then the chair and co-chair, we reviewed 100%. So a total of 137 abstracts were submitted, which is great. I encourage everyone to submit. We selected from that, based on that very structured scoring criteria that was put in place, we selected 78. And then we took that 78, and then the team actually continued to look at that, make sure we had every one of the domains in the competency wheel addressed, and that each level of quality and safety leader, be it novice to the experienced, that we addressed each of that different communities were addressed. So it was just really a very mindful, intentional approach to how we do this work, and it turned out beautifully. So special thanks to the list of volunteers that you see up here on the screen now, and of course to Jackie and Allison.
Great, thanks Liz, and thanks to all our volunteers that helped us this year for our abstracts review. Liz, can you tell more about submitting for next year?
Yeah, every single one of the members of NAHQ should submit an abstract. I cannot stress that enough. We are all out there doing great work, and the best way we learn is by sharing. And that's actually a component of being highly reliable, is sharing your learning so that others can benefit from that. Listen, the reality is our patients can't afford for each one of us to try to independently and individually figure things out. We have got to share the knowledge. So I encourage each one of you to submit an abstract for NAHQ Next for 2026. It's a great opportunity to showcase the work that you're doing at a national conference. You can reach out to this group if you have questions. I know the call will come out probably January through March is when the call for abstracts will be open. We'll get the exact dates published on the NAHQ event page, but I just can't stress enough. And look, if you need help writing that abstract, call me. I've read a few. We can provide assistance.
Thanks, Liz. Jackie, while it's not the same as being in person, how does NAHQ create an interactive event where you can network with speakers and other attendees?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely hard to make a virtual event as interactive as a live event, but we certainly do what we can. A few things that we do, I mentioned before, the live Q&A from the audience. So every single scheduled virtual live session has Q&A this year. So it's a great opportunity to ask your questions to the presenters. And then I also mentioned before the chat. So for each of the virtual live sessions on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see a chat, and it is very lively, and it's formal, and it's also informal learning. So when people sign on, it's like, good morning, this is Jackie from Iowa. So it's just kind of welcoming other attendees. And then also if we have a speaker that's talking about a tool or a process or something, oftentimes we also have attendees that have read an article on that or have another tool to share, and they'll share a link within the chat. So it is also a great way to get learning from other attendees. And it's fun to watch and participate in. Also on the Monday and Tuesday of NAHQ Next, we have dueling pianos during lunch breaks. So similar to a dueling piano bar, it's you request songs in the chat, and they will, it's a live section of NAHQ Next, so they'll play it, and they're really fun. Even if you're just catching up on emails, or I know lots of groups get together and watch NAHQ Next together, just to listen to that music as you're taking a break from sessions, but maybe still even working. We also have on the attendee platform, there is a tab for attendee profiles. And this is where attendees can set up, or not, they don't have to, but they can set up their own profile there. So they can add their picture, they can add a bio, they can add some of their information. And this is where you can connect with other attendees of NAHQ Next. You can video chat them even, you can send them a message, you can even connect with many of our speakers that way. You can also shut it off if you don't prefer to be connected with, but it's another opportunity to connect separately with NAHQ Next attendees, especially if you don't have their email address and you have no other way to get a hold of them. You can search them by name. And then NAHQ loves to see repostings of groups and even individuals participating in NAHQ Next. Our goal is that it really creates fear of missing out from other attendees that are from other individuals that aren't participating in the event. So our staff is definitely watching those during the event and sometimes resharing them. So get it out there that you're participating, especially if we have lots of groups that will take a selfie of the whole group in a conference room together watching the event. So that's fun to see for us.
Thanks, Jackie. One of the great benefits of NAHQ Next, I think, is the accessibility of the event, because we know our audience is busy, like Jackie mentioned, and sometimes even with the best of intentions to attend a 2.5-day event, there are unavoidable interruptions. Liz, can you talk to me about how attendees can access the event both during and after the live event on September 8th through 10th?
Yeah. So, the gift is you can watch it live or you can pick your sessions later. And the good news is it's open until the end of the year, till New Year. You could have a New Year's Eve party and watch it right up till when the ball drops if you wanted to. Having that extended session like that is just a gift, because you may not be able to get to everything that you need right now, or you may watch something and then a month from now think, wait, I remember this. Let me go back and rewatch that. Or you may need the contact information from that person. So having those on-demand sessions available until the end of the year is going to be fantastic. Also, if you're tech savvy, NAHQ Next is also mobile friendly, so you can listen to it on your I almost said on your Walkman. That just shows how old I am. On your phone or any devices that you might have. You'll make it work for you.
Yes, unfortunately, it's not compatible with Walkmans.
It is not. No, we're going to say it here for you.
Think of that.
Thanks, Liz. Jackie, can you let us know how someone registers and how registration works for a group?
So far, I just checked before this call, and we have about 3,500 people already registered. So a great network to, like I said, connect with during the event. But on this slide right here, we have the URL that you can visit and register, or there's also a QR code you can just scan with your phone and then register that way as well. And then once you get to the registration page, you'll just check what you're registering or what you're checking out as, either an individual or a group. Which then on the next slide here, I do have a breakdown of the pricing. NAHQ Next is a great event to attend as a group, and Liz is going to talk about that, I think maybe on the next slide, how just some examples of how her organization participates as a group. But we do have special pricing for groups as small as 5, and then you can see here the more individuals you have participating, the deeper the discount. One of the questions we do receive about group is if I participate with a group, will I still get my individual CE? And you will. So if you register as a group, you will have your own login that you can access until the end of the year, and you'll be able to take the evaluation and get your individual CE for attending the event. I just also did want to remind everyone that these prices listed on this slide are the early bird rates, and so we are planning to close early bird tomorrow. So just a quick reminder that you want to register before end of day tomorrow. And then after early bird, the rates increase by $50.
Thanks, Jackie. I've also dropped a link to registration in the chat for anybody that needs it. And Liz, can you talk to me about how you, as a busy healthcare quality professional, ensure that you are dedicating time to the event and how you engage your team to participate?
Sure. Probably the most important thing that I did is when the date first posted is I went and blocked my calendar. And that's just critical. Having that dedicated time to apply to that was really, really important for me. The other thing that I do and what I would encourage everyone to do is go into the program guide, and it's really cool the way they have it set up. So you can look at the whole agenda if you want to, or you can go to the competency wheel and then look at the topics that are very specific within that competency domain. For example, if patient safety is your priority focus, or if regulatory is your priority focus, you can click on that domain, and then it will list all of the sessions that are pertinent to that domain, and it'll also tell you if it's a 60-minute session, or if it's an NAHQ best practice tool, or if it's a poster, or if it's virtual and live. So it really, you can structure it in the way that makes it work the best for you. I've mentioned I've been around for a little while, so I am a note taker. I like paper and pencil still, so I take notes as I'm listening, as I'm watching, as I'm learning. That's really important to me, so that I can go back and reference that. And as I'm doing those notes, I think about how could this apply in my space, and what does it look like? The other thing we do organizationally, well, I'll get to that in a minute. So for my team, we've got several that are attending. We've got a room reserved for them. We'll order food. Everybody's happier when they're fed. We've got a group that's definitely calorically motivated. But what we ask the team to do when we have several that are attending the same conferences, we don't want everyone going to the same session, right? We want to get our money's worth. And so we ask them to look through the agenda, and then we want to get representation at as many of the sessions as possible. And then afterwards, we'll come together as a group, and those attendees are required to give a little mini presentation. What did they learn? What were the takeaways? And what are the applications within our space? And that's actually a condition of participation for my organization to sponsor you to go to a conference. You have to be willing to come back and present that information to the team. And I think that's something that works out really, really well, and would strongly encourage everyone to do that.
Liz, I love that idea that you just mentioned. If you are trying to get funding for your team to attend NAHQ Next, include that in your request. And that's a great way to implement the takeaways organization-wide.
Thanks, Liz. I'm going to turn it back over to Jackie now. We know that many of our constituents rely on NAHQ for their CE fulfillment. Can you tell us what types of CE are available, and how many, and how you can claim the awarded CE?
This is always one of the most frequently asked questions we get, because we know that CE is a huge driver for attendees to register for NAHQ Next. So the good news is that you can get all of your credits for your CPHQ research by attending 1 year of NAHQ Next. And so right now we are currently pending approval of nursing, continuing nursing education, but it is just above 45 CNE and also CPHQ CE. And we have also been awarded about 20 hours of ACHE continuing education credits.
Okay, thanks, Jackie. Once someone registers for the event, then what? When will they receive access to login? Can you tell us about the process, Jackie?
Sure. So once someone registers for the event, you will receive 2 confirmation emails. One of them is simply receipts that most people need to submit for reimbursement. And then the second one is framed more like a checklist to make the most of your experience. And it just shares some simple things, some of the things that Liz mentioned before. Mark it on your calendar, block the time off so that you can dedicate your time to listen to NAHQ Next. And then it also has a sample social media post that you can very easily copy and paste to your own social media just to share that you're engaging in NAHQ Next and participating. And then a few days prior to NAHQ Next, I would say the Thursday or Friday prior to NAHQ Next, you will receive an email to whatever email you registered for the event with, and that will have all of the information you need to access the event. Probably the most important thing is your login information. So it will have a login link, and then we'll also have instructions for your username and password to log in. So you'll definitely want to be on the lookout for that approximately Thursday or Friday before NAHQ Next. And then also within that email that you'll receive a few days before, it has a sample session. So you'll click on a link, it will bring you to a sample session, and you can click on that link and it will play a sample session. You just want to make sure you can hear it, you can see it. We strongly encourage people to test their system prior to Monday morning. Just to make sure you have no firewalls, you can hear and see that sample session. That way Monday morning, you can confidently log on right before the session and know that it's going to be visible. Nothing's blocked. So, and of course, if you have any questions, our customer service is happy to help and works extended hours around the time frame of NAHQ Next and can walk you through, any tech issues.
Thanks, Jackie. And we're getting to the end. Does anybody have any additional questions or anything for us? A few sort of more administrative logistics came through on some questions, but if anybody has any other questions, you can submit them now about the event. Or is there anything else, Liz or Jackie, that we need to cover, or anything you can think of to add?
Just encourage everybody to participate to the fullest extent. There's just a lot of really good information available and learnings available, and I think it's very worthwhile.
Thanks, Liz. Yeah, and if any questions do come up, you can contact, like Jackie said, our customer service is open, and we are open extended hours during the event. You can also find Jackie or I's information on the NAHQ website, and please feel free to email us at any time. And thank you for participating in today's info session. To register for the event, you can visit next.nahq.org or the link I put in the chat. And please don't hesitate to reach out, like I said, to NAHQ if you have any questions regarding the event. And we'll see you on September 8th for NAHQ Next. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.